Can I at least have a moment, game? I'm a bit busy right now. What do you mean I can't fucking rest here? The artifact, created by years of hard work of the servants of Plura and the efforts of the finest spellcasters of the Crusade, glows with mysterious light. The starlit astrolabe seems to be looking forward to the hour when it can release its power and unleash on the demons. Time to clear the skies of a threshold. Gotta be somewhere I can fucking rest. We're definitely gonna need to get towards all our companions, but if you're still there, Panda, just let Deadly Panda, just let me know that you wanna. Let me know quickly, soon, if you want to see, you know, the stuff that, you know, the carriage creator, and I'll get it up for you. The old elf stands frozen. It is unclear whether he is listening closely to the sound coming from the fortress, contemplating something, or just dozing. Upon hearing your footsteps, he respectfully ducks his head. Commander, how did you end up in the thick of the battle? Storytell smiles softly. This is not my first battle, Commander. I know how to defend myself, and the thunder of fight has never stopped me from getting into another adventure. I've come to witness great things, and some unsightly demons will not dare to get in my way. Will you help us in the battle? A blind man is hardly what you need when storming a fortress. I will stay here among the soldiers, guarding the gates against uninvited guests. If you manage to siege any artifacts whose nature you wish to know, bring them to me and I'll read their stories. What do you think lies ahead for me? My gift is useless here. The story has yet to be written, and the quill is in your hands, Commander. I appreciate you coming here, right to the heart of the fight. How could I miss a story like this? I wish to witness it, not listen to the retelling in years to come. I have to go.
Rushes toward its conclusion. I wish to speak with you.
The Queen greets you with one direct look.
To be honest, I almost stopped believing that I would live to see this moment. It has been at least 50 years since I stopped hoping and believing it could happen. And yet, here we are, at the entrance to Threshold. All thanks to you.
He brings a hand to her face for a moment in gesture that looks slightly awkward.
I have made a great many mistakes in my life. And I suppose I shall pay for every one of them, in this life or in the afterlife. But few mistakes became apparent to me as quickly and as painfully as my feud with you.
Well, in the past now, I hold no grudges against you.
I feel really happy. I mean it. I thought I would not have enough strength to drag this burden of regrets along to the final battle.
I have a request. When we win, the ward stones will no longer be needed. Whatever happens to me, free the angels imprisoned inside them.
You are right. I shall fulfill your request, although it will be difficult. No one in Mendev knows the sacrifice that the creation of the ward stones demanded. The stones themselves are seen as a symbol of hope and safety. To destroy them would be akin to dismantling the fortress walls around Mendev's cities. It will provoke suspicion and panic, even if the demons are defeated by that time. But the angels have done their duty and should be freed. Therefore, should we win, I shall carry out your request, even if it means losing the people's trust.
What are you going to do after we win?
I am going to rule Mendev. What else? I do not seem to have much choice in that. I have become a symbol of battle and of the war for our liberation. I hope I am wise enough to become a symbol of peace, too.
Well, I have to go.
Yes, of course. May Iyomade be with you, or any other higher power you believe in.
Commander, you promised us victory when it seemed impossible, and you did not let us down. Doing the impossible is your specialty. You have led us here, to the very gates of the enemy's lair. Now we will end this century-long nightmare once and for all.
You're so good at toppling fortresses by now, you can almost keep time by it. The Grey Garrison, Dresden, and now Threshold. So are we coming up on noon or midnight on the commander clock? Doesn't matter. The bards can settle that one. It's the hour of your triumph.
So, much time has passed since we first met. Do you remember our first meeting?
Of course. It was a long time ago now, but it's not the kind of thing you forget. I was almost buried alive. If it wasn't for you and Sela, my skull would be lying in some cave right now with only rats for company.
It was unforgettable. That attack on the Grey Garrison was the last desperate push. The last hope of holding the city when it seemed only a miracle could save us. We would have died there. But you and Anevia leapt out of the ground, and then miracles began to happen.
How would you rate our chances of winning?
We have a chance. And that's a far sight better than how things stood not so long ago. Of course, it's too early to celebrate. We've still got a battle to fight, the likes of which we've never seen before. But I think you can pull it off.
With you leading us, those monsters should be worrying about their chances of escaping with their lives.
Erebeth bares her sharp teeth in a wide, fierce grin. What are you going to do after we win?
Personally, I'm going to be doing a big pile of nothing. For a month, or maybe 2. Erebeth too. Wheedling, blackmail, violence. I'll stop at nothing to drag her away on her first ever vacation.
Whatever you say, I can see surrender is my only option.
Erebeth holds up her hands, laughing. Alright, time to finish this.
We've waited so long for this. Onward to victory!
Lead on, Commander.
With his head thrown back, Adventure Captain Hilo grimly looks at the Threshold Fortress. So all that stuff has tormented our Avestan for a century rolled out of this dump. Raised this place to the very foundations, Commander. Why did you come? As a man of honor, I could not stay away. I've been at war with demons my whole life, and if there's anything I can do for you in the last battle, I'm ready to risk my head. What can you do for our army? You may want to strengthen your unit with a couple of experienced mercenaries for the coming assault. Either that, or you'll need to train your comrades in a new combat tactics. Can help with both. It's good you're here. If in the upcoming battle you need a pair of sleek fighters, let me know. Some of my comrades are real ruffians. Well, I have to go.
We march ahead.
Aristone cast a disapproving glance at the fortress. The demons have completely neglected the fortifications here. They're in complete disarray. However, this plays right into our hands. What are you doing here? I fulfill my duty to Abadar, of course. I'm not afraid of chaos, so I can go into a world of savagery and grief to bring the light to civilization, law, and order. Can you help me with something before the attack? As before, I can help with the necessary spells, and if you wish to recuperate, I can make sure that your rest is not disturbed. Glad you're with us. I need to catch my breath. Thank the Lord we can rest. It does mean I need to reapply all of our buffs. However, it means that we have full spells. Okay. Yama, Thoughts Targona will win. If not us, then who? I guess it's time to talk to the party.
Chief, is there any chance, even a tiny one, that we can just call this whole thing off now and go home?
Wolchif is nervously biting his nails and his tail is swishing from side to side, stirring up clouds of dust.
Before, I would have just made a run for it, but I can't do that now. Something is holding me back, and I really don't like the thought of leaving you high and dry. See what you turned me into?
If I turned you into a hero, maybe?
If you want to send me to the front line, I ain't going, so don't even try that hero stuff on me. I'm gonna fight because I don't want to die. And because we're kind of friends now. And don't you go getting yourself killed either. I can't stand being sad, so just don't do that to me.
I promise you'll have no cause to be sad.
And I won't be. At least not for long. I've got plans, you know. Lots of them, like getting rich. I won't have time to be crying over dead heroes. But if you do survive, I'll make sure to cut you in. That reminds me, the Thiefling's merchandise is still at your disposal. So don't be afraid to ask if you find yourself in need of something.
Don't think there's anything he could give me that would be relatively useful anymore, but... Oh, wow. Might have been a little bit wrong there. I'm gonna buy that just because that's fucking cool. And because I'm fucking rich. I don't think any of our characters can equip dueling swords. Big shame. Okay, let's talk to Grey Boar.
Not a bad spot to end this war. Formidable, menacing. It has a certain style about it.
Taking an unhurried puff of his pipe, Grey Boar eyes the fortress with satisfaction.
Seeing as our contract is coming to an end, Commander, let me just say that you are the most impressive client I've ever had the pleasure to work with. And a highly lucrative pleasure it's been, too.
You don't regret taking me up on my offer?
Of course not. Where else would I have had so many adventures? Besides, it's thanks to you that I've been able to add so many accomplishments to my service record, which will boost my rates in the future. You know, it's jobs like this, the ones that are both fun and pay well, that make me love what I do.
Time is money, we shouldn't squander it.
Now you're talking. Why don't you show me who it is we need to kill to win this war? Aurilu Vorlesh? I'll wish that lady sweet dreams with unalloyed pleasure.
Oh shit, there's people up here I didn't even realize. You've Soul, Paralictor. Okay, they're literally all up there. Okay, let's go towards Ember next.
This is it. The last fortress. It's been a long road from the river city to here. We walked and walked and walked along the road. And suddenly, there's no more road.
Ember smiles her familiar, her carefree smile at you. Are you ready for battle?
Nobody is ready. It will be scary. Very scary. In the last fortress, all the lies will end, and the truth will rise. It's scary, but it's good.
Truth, lies? What are you talking about?
Nobody knows what will happen next. People are afraid of the future, so that's why they make it up. They lie to themselves so it's not so scary. They convince themselves and others of the things they make up. But one day the future will come. The story ends, for better or worse. When everything's already happened, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. And there's no reason to lie.
What are you gonna do when the war's over?
People used to call me a fool, a vagrant, and a beggar. Now they call me holy. It's so strange, because I'm just an ordinary little girl. But you know what's bad? I can see that some people are afraid of me. And some come to me and ask me if I'll punish other people for them. It's all so silly. It would probably be best if I go away somewhere, to a place where nobody knows me. They won't be afraid, they won't revere me, they won't ask me to work miracles. We've been on a long journey together, but it's at an end now. When we win, a new journey will begin.
Go, it's time to fight.
Hear that, Soot? It's time.
The crow looks at you with its clever black eyes and caws loudly. Bad place to stop where we're in the open. It's like we're asking to jump, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
I am calculating the likelihood of your victory. Taking into consideration the fortifications of Threshold, the long period it has been under demon control, and Aurilu Vorlesh, who is personally overseeing the defense, I would give the Crusaders a 30% chance of success at most.
With brows furrowed, Nenio is feverishly waiting for writing something on a crumpled piece of paper. She looks up at you and sighs.
Of course, the presence of an illustrious scholar of Golarion in your ranks, meaning me, immediately increases your chances by 5%.
You afraid?
Fear is an unproductive emotion that typically gets in the way of a good experiment. And I have never indicated that I do not support my loyal follower in his battle against the demons. I simply calculated your chances of success.
Whatever our chances, we're not backing down.
If you win, I'll make sure to mention you in my encyclopedia. Aha! With that as an incentive, your chances have increased by 5%. Consider this my contribution to your victory.
Our path leads
Thanks,
on.
Nenio.
there it is. The citadel of the demon army. You know, I expected it to be formidable and fearsome. Something that would make me quake in terror. But now that I am standing at its gates, I'm surprised at how little fear I feel. Do not mistake this for bravado. Our enemies are dangerous, but no more than that. We have traveled to the heart of the abyss, and back again. Now we are home, on our own territory. This time, let it be the invaders who quake in terror. I regret that my brother is not here with us. Who knows what became of him? He vanished without a trace, like thousands of other victims of this war. We must be victorious today, so that no more people have to suffer the same fate.
What are you gonna do after we win?
I will go home to Endoran. I will lay down my weapon and never pick up another so long as I live. Save a knife for cutting grapevines. I will serve the goddess in our old temple. And when the peasant children come to pepper me with questions about the crusade, I will do my utmost to make sure that my stories give none the idea that there is anything beautiful or romantic about war.
Changed so much since we first met.
I had to. If I had a choice, I probably would have stayed the same naive little boy I was before the war. The boy who had never killed, who had never been to the abyss, who had never buried those with whom he had sat around a campfire only the night before. Even so, when I set out to join this war, my head was full of so many romantic notions. More than usual for a naive little boy. But life found a way to shatter those most thoroughly.
Your brother would have been proud of you.
Pride is known as a mortal sin for good reason. It was pride that propelled my brother to join the crusade in search of glory. And look how that ended. No, I am not here to make anyone proud. I only want one thing. For this nightmare, after 100 long years, to finally be over.
Are you ready? Into battle.
Ready. Let us drive the demons all the way back to the abyss.
At last, this irksome crusade is drawing to a close.
Varian's smile reveals nothing beyond his usual genteel in that word.
All right. It hasn't been that irksome. All in all, it was a fine adventure. And the company was more than adequate. The most important outcome of today, of course, will be that I shall be immortalized in works of art depicting the Fifth Crusade as the most attractive crusader.
And so you're not afraid of the fight ahead? It's only a battle against the worst horrors of the Worldwound after all.
Perhaps I should reconsider. No. Others can be afraid. But I know who our leader is and what he is capable of. I have never seen you fail to rise to a challenge, no matter how impossible. So leave me and my optimism be. We will win. If anyone should be afraid, it is the wretches inside Threshold.
Well then, onward to victory.
And to the victory feast, I trust?
Greetings. Allow me to congratulate you on leading the armies of the Fifth Crusade to its decisive confrontation.
Rigel is standing with his hands behind his back, his eyes fixed on the fortress. His usual implacable demeanor has acquired an air of solemnity, and his yellow eyes gleam in his pale face.
Excellent. At last, a real achievement and a genuine chance of victory.
Rigel permits himself a satisfied nod. Here we are at Threshold, the final battle, and the resolution of the Worldwound's problem is at hand. Are you happy?
I suppose I am. Being happy is not in my nature, but for the first time in years, I feel something akin to that emotion. It would be interesting to analyze what I experience when I see the criminal Vorlesh defeated, the demons ousted, and the Worldwound closed at last. It promises to be an exceptional moment.
A rare note of contemplation appears in Rigel's voice. It's been an honor to fight alongside you, Rigel.
And for me as well, Commander. For me as well.
Rigel offers you a sharp salute. Time, get ready for a bitter fight.
I am always ready.
Rigel nods bravely.
I will guide us.
You know what's crazy? I never thought this moment would come so soon. It feels like only yesterday we were trying to bring a blazing Kenabres under control, and now we're standing on the cusp of our last battle. Threshold. This isn't how I imagined it. I thought I'd be running happily toward death and trying to do something particularly heroic so I could go out in style. But now, I'm thinking about how we have to win and go back to Dresden because there's so much work still to do there.
We're definitely not going to die. I have a good feeling about this.
Me too. You've got a whole army behind you, and we're all ready to win. If we fail now, when we've got this far, then that means the Crusades were always doomed to fail. We've been going easy on these demons for too long, don't you think? It's time to show them one last time what Galarians are capable of.
He smiles at you.
Hey, well, are we gonna stick it to the demons one last time?
Sheila salutes at you. Have you thought about what you're going to do after we win?
I don't know yet. I'll probably go back to being a knight errant, going wherever the road takes me, helping folk where I can. But let's win first, and we can talk about that later.
Sheila shrugs. You're a true friend, Sheila. It's been an honor fighting shoulder to shoulder with you.
Back at you, friend. So, are we going to crush some demons? It's time to show them the door once and for all.
Sheila, she squeezes your shoulder for a moment, and then lets go as you go talk to Urushalay.
There it is. The heart of the wound. The source of all the evil that has been wrought here over the last 100 years. It all began here. And we will end it here. If Aurilu Voralesh had never opened the Worldwound, I would never have ended up on Galarian. I would never have met Desna. Or you. I would never have embarked on the path of good.
Urushalay's words are stirring, but there is no zeal in her voice, only sorrow.
The world isn't fair. Thousands of innocent mortals perished during this invasion. But it was also the catalyst for one demoness's discovery of goodness and love. This may merely be a quirk of fate, but it means that our happiness together has come at a horrifying cost. Today, we will repay but a fraction of that debt. We will close this abomination so that no one else has to die.
Our love is a refutation of everything the demons believe in. If they had any sense, they would flee this place as fast as they could.
I know, I actually pity them. If only I could have shown them what I feel. If only I could have shared this goodness, this tenderness with them. I'm sure they would have started on the same path as I have. But if helping them to change is beyond my abilities, then I will have to do battle against them. I will let no one threaten you and our happiness. No one.
Defeat the abyss within yourself. After such a feat, routing its armies will be a breeze.
I did not do it alone. You have led your army to victory, and me to my dream.
Oh, you're shouldering the guilt for all the victims of the invasion. Isn't that too much for one Urushalay to handle?
It's not about guilt. It's just that I am ashamed to take any joy in my freedom, knowing that this terrible war was the cause of it. Everyone would have been better off if the Worldwound had never been opened. But then I would have remained a monster. Perhaps one day I will atone for all the evil I did. But it took a far greater evil to make my redemption even possible.
What are you going to do after we win?
You know what?
A playful smile blossoms on Urushalay's lips. She whispers, "You know what? Are you ready then? Battle."
I am ready. Let the abyss tremble in fear.
Let's get a fucking hard save.